Okay guys, welcome to Darts Etiquette, a two-part series where we will be going over how to best go about your darts games, either online or in person. So a little bit of a backstory into where this video idea came from. I was doom scrolling, as we all do, through Darts Talk, and I was scrolling away, and I can remember seeing someone saying, stop doing this, stop doing that, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. And I didn't really agree with what was being said. So I'm going to take a little bit of a deeper dive into how you should be acting in these online matches, and in the next video in real person matches. Just so you get that etiquette, I don't know if that's the word, just so you can come across that bit more professional in your matches. The first point I want to make is the respect towards your opponent. Regardless if you've played them before or you've never met, you want to really show that person some sort of common decency and respect. If they are struggling counting, give them a hand. If you are struggling with something, they'll give you a hand. It's all about helping each other out and really making it work to have a really good game of darts, because when you're playing online, there's no marker or checker, it's just you and your opponent. Different people have different levels of how they can mark, how they score, how they count, their math levels. It's all a big, in one way to put it, it can be a big mess. But if you work together, things will start to flow, and that's when you can form friendships online and, well, in person as well. Now, jumping into gameplay, obviously you want to have everything set up correctly, nice and neat. You want to have a decent camera looking at your board, and you want to be stood the official distance away. You don't want any cheating. There's no point in playing darts if you're going to cheat, because you're not going to progress, you're not going to get better, but your online average may look better, and that's not what it's all about. When I'm playing, I usually have my camera set about this distance from the board, so you can see everything clearly. But obviously, if some darts going over this side, things are going to get blocked and covered, but we will go into that in a little bit more detail. So you can just about see all of the numbering, but you can definitely see all of the doubles on the outside of the board. Now, my next point is how you should show your opponent that you have checked out completely, because this is where a lot of people can cheat in matches. I'll put some examples on the screen for you now. So clip number 1, just let me know if dart number 2 on the screen is in the treble 8 or out of the treble 8. Let me know in the comments. And in clip number 2, again, let me know if dart number 2 is inside or outside that double 8, because this is where it can get very, very tricky, but this is what you should be doing. Once you've hit your doubles, regardless of how blocked or not they are, you go over and you tap the top of your dart. If the dart is blocked, you remove the other 2 darts so the person on the other end of the screen can see that that dart is clearly in. You give them the thumbs up, they should return the thumbs up as well. If you have voice chat on, makes it a lot easier, but I always tap the dart and give a thumbs up, even if I am speaking and we have communication with each other. So the answer is clip number 1 was not in whatsoever. It was just on the wire, but you can see how somebody would cheat that and say that that double was in the bed. Second one, yeah, that was in right the way, just on the other side of the wire, but how can you tell that difference when they're so close together? Now, another point I want to bring up as well, this is to do with a comment that I seen on the Darts Talk post the other day. So the person was talking about when you throw your darts, your 2 darts are completely nowhere near the double, and the last dart goes in, and that person still taps the dart to say it's in. You should always be doing it regardless of where the first 2 darts are. If you have black points and a dark board, and you go for your, say, your double 10 and it's just on the inside, or double 8 on the other side, you know, wherever your camera is positioned, your opponent may think, oh, that's in the single 10, but giving them that tap, the thumbs up, it confirms it that it is in, and you're not cheating. It's just a basic etiquette that I learned very early on when I started playing, because other people were doing it as well. Regardless of my double 10 being in here, or a dart being up over the 13 and the other dart being down underneath the 2, I'll still go up and touch that dart to let my opponent know that that dart is in the double. The other thing that was mentioned in that video as well is where people go up and they tap the darts that are in the treble 20. Now, personally, I've never done that. I work on the basis there of trust, but you should really be doing it, because if the camera angle is too far away, if it's not close, then you need that confirmation. And by just touching the darts, you are telling that person that he's in. You wouldn't be doing it if you didn't have a camera looking at the board. You were just telling that person with a bit of respect that yes, I have just scored a 140, I'm tapping my 2 darts, and on to the next throw is now your turn. I think it keeps everything clear and everyone knows what is going on, instead of just walking up, tapping in the 140 and then pulling your darts out. And on that note, what I find a lot of people do, and I don't think it's on purpose, I think it's mainly accident, they'll walk up to the board, they'll retrieve their darts, and then they will put their score in. If you've done it wrong...
where's my dart then? What did I just hit?
The best thing to do is leave your darts in the board, register your score online, then go in and collect the darts when you're 100% sure that it is correct. I can understand where people will want to walk up to the board, collect their darts, count it up, come back to your computer that may be up by your hockey, tap your score in, and there we go. I find the best way is score, put your score in, go and retrieve your darts, and everything is clean and is working as it should be. If you're playing online, you want it to be that little bit quicker. So by them putting their score in, it then passes the turn over to you, and while they're retrieving their darts, you can carry on playing. Online darts is totally different compared to in-person darts. In-person darts is a lot slower. Online you've got that bit of pace, you can find your flow and you can keep going. And that only works if you're both working together and you follow the basic etiquette rules that I have given you in this video. Now, my last point before we wrap this video up is always respect the thrower. So much like the old rugby signs that you used to see when the kicker was going, respect the person that is about to throw the darts. Don't go shouting out loud, swearing, you know, show that respect to your opponent and let them play their game. If you've made a mistake, if you think, oh no, that score was wrong, don't say anything until they have thrown their darts. Yeah, leave your darts in the board, and then once they say they score or tap it in, you can then tap on your, tap up to your darts and then re-edit your score. Having your mics on and your communication is a lot easier when you're playing online darts. 9 times out of 10 though, if I'm practicing on Knacker or other ones like darts counter and things like that, I won't have my audio on whatsoever. I'll just go up and play. Don't go shouting and swearing. I know it might be frustrating. It is a very frustrating game. I've been there as well. Muttering under your breath. You're trying to play an online match. If it's a practice match, I can see why you'd go, it doesn't really matter. But if you're playing in competitions like the GDL, then you want to show that person the respect. It is pay to play competition with prizes at the end of it. If you want to check out the GDL, follow this link or tap it down in my description down below. Tell them that ACW Darts has sent you over and get yourself involved in the home of online darts, that is the graded darts leagues. That is bringing us towards the end of this video. So the 3 main points that we covered is showing your opponent some respect before the match, during the match, and after the match as well. The second point is you should be pointing out your checkouts, the doubles you've hit just in case they're blocked, or if they're not blocked, you should always be showing your opponent that you have hit it by giving it a tap and a thumbs up if you're not using audio. If you are using audio, give it a tap. If your darts are blocking, move them out the way. And lastly, we covered the fact that you should, including myself, be tapping those trebles if they have gone in during an online match. During GDL matches, it is a bit different for myself. The level of trust with all the opponents is a lot higher. The same goes for when you're checking out as well. But if you're practicing, if you're on Knacker, if you're on any other one of those online dart scorers and match creators, you should be tapping the trebles, the doubles when they go in. And you should always be showing your opponent that respect that they deserve. In the next video, I will be covering in-person darts etiquette, things that you should be doing if you are playing in pub league matches, ADC matches, any in-person darts match, whether that be right the way at the top or right the way down at pub level. If you want to watch that video now, head into my description and there is an unlisted link. If not, you can wait another 2 days for it to go live on my channel. Guys, thank you very much as always. If you have enjoyed, please make sure you hit the thumbs up. Comment down below, let me know what you think. Are there more darts etiquette things that should have been included in this video for online darts that I haven't mentioned? Drop them in the comments and we can all read through those together. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. As always guys, peace out, stay safe and keep them sharp.